more serious on singles, but
well,
not here.
You say usually, but I don't.
Yeah, I said usually.
I don't
On
even
occasion.
know about that. But it's Squad Strike top 4. We are into where it is at its most intense. MuteAce, no surprise to see the roster be the exact same. Chase is going to lead off with the Sonic like we saw last he was on screen. Also has the Aegis and the Palu in the back. Lots of Palu in this top 4, as I think you would kind of expect.
Well, look at the Twitter at the top right. Like, Chase certainly living up to his handle. Top tiers only for sure. That is his mantra, that is his motto, and that is his modus operandi.
No, I can tell you right now that there's going to be somebody in Twitch chat that's going to say, Palu's a high
Palu's
tier,
not a top tier.
top
Shut up.
tier. Yeah, Palu's
Shut up.
Come on, you can win a tournament with Palu. Nonetheless, despite what people may have to say about the difficulty of doing so, I do want to see some more of this Chase Sonic, because like he did make like a couple of weird decisions, but the combo game, that Nair reminded me of the way that he took
Nair
that first
F smash,
stock,
yeah.
the Nair F smash. I was
And-
like, ha!
All right. Fair enough, Chase. Bring out the Palu. And this
Feel free to
matchup-
drop your my cars in the chat, by the way.
This matchup, he should have a lot more familiarity with, considering this is the entire reason why he's picking up the Sonic in the first place, is so that he can, fight him.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I feel like Palu does match up against Sonic, pretty well for all intents and purposes. I mean, like, she's such a balanced character, but having a
That is an up air that just won't quit.
it just won't quit.
I'm over 50, but my up airs are still going strong. Find out how with this online class.
I take these supplements. Oh, you're gone.
See ya.
As it turns out, they were placebos.
They were just vitamin B pills.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get vitamin B, but it's not going to be the cure-all that you think it is.
All right, enough medical advice from us on this Smash Brothers stream.
Neither of us went to doctor school, so you shouldn't listen to us.
Chase is about to... I
like that I have an activation code to just turn off your brain, and that activation code is doctor school.
I completely lose. Like, I know for a fact that I had a thought in my brain, surprising, I know, about how the flow of this game was going, and I had some analysis to offer, and it's just gone.
Well, let me say this. The idea that Chase had right there to throw the Blazing End and then roll into it and jump the moment that he saw that MuteAce was caught in it to try to follow up with the up air afterwards was actually genius. I love that idea.
Chase continuously pushing Mute into this left side corner, so Mute just decided to double jump and then teleport back to the ground. It was like a kind of a gotcha, like, okay, I'm out of the corner now. But, huh?
That's it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What happened?
Sometimes that move is just not as consistent. Usually if you get caught on like the back end of it, sometimes that finisher hitbox.
Yeah, it just like throws you onto the ground but without tumble. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's just that finisher hitbox is just kind of out in front of the, it's like a swing down if you notice the animation, but if you're behind it, it doesn't always hit you. So it's a weird move to say the least. Multi-hits in a platform fighter, right?
Multi-hits in a lot of games.
Multi-hits in anything, honestly.
Multi-hits.
Yeah. Just how did
even
this
in real life.
How are we supposed to make this link together even?
I went for a jab 1-2 in a boxing lesson, and my coach flew across the room one time.
I'd like to imagine multi-hits working in real life the way they do in a platform fighter, where like, yeah, you just like hit somebody with one jab and you win via ring out.
They just go like flying towards you.
Oh my God! Speaking of going flying, yeah, Chase doing as he does, doing the, it's not a taunt. That's what people do when they like.
He's
when people teabag, they're like, I'm not taunting though. Like, come on, what do you get in? So like, that's the same thing,
I have to do that because I don't have taunt bound on my controls.
Yeah, you're weird.
So I have to teabag. Sorry guys, I have to.
Why do you replace your D-pad with jump? Actually, I'm not interested. Tell me later.
It's not actually like that complicated. I use the D-pad for short hop macro because if you like slide your thumb from the control stick to the D-pad and hit 2, it short hops.
See,
it's pretty simple.
What I do is I have X and Z bound to jump so that I can do short hop with that.
Yeah,
which messes me up in Melee.
I just
lets
me like
jump cancel crap.
I D-pad and then I very quickly hit X and it lets me IDJ really easily too.
That's not a bad idea. Well, hey, let's see if Mute has a good idea on how to mount this comeback, because while we've been talking about our own personal approach to the game, Chase has been showing that his is rather effective, particularly with this Aegis. Has been putting in a lot of work and just using this Mythra to get out of the corner. I love that idea. And then going right back to the Pyra to say, you now have to be threatened by all this space I control.
Very nearly losing out on that stock, but he's already done more than enough before the Palu comes out.
Dude, look
falling
at this,
there.
Look at this timer. This game's been going on for a while. Oh, okay.
You know what? It's damage. Damage is damage.
It's worth. Oh, is it worth? I don't think it's worth. It's not worth.
You might die.
It's actually not worth at all. Oh my god.
A character that didn't have a teleport probably died there.
I think so too.
But 76 anyway.
Dude, what looked like it was just like an assured Chase win is now all of a sudden like I'm scared for him, not for Mute.
No, I'm never scared for Mute in last hit situations. I'm scared for his opponent at all times.
I want to bring that up later because that makes me think of one thing in particular, but we have got to wait until the end of this game because it is going to wrap up any second now. If Mute finds a confirm into something like a fair, into a smash attack,
he's looking for this drag down up air too to confirm off of it.
Yup. Something that, I mean, not a lot of people can do, but Mute's one of them. But Chase,
shield poke.
Amazing spacing. Might have been a shield poke, maybe a Mute fishing for a parry and mistiming it a little bit because Chase did kind of mix up that, where he was landing with that back air exactly. Nonetheless, he was able to find it. He is able to eke out that game one, but eke is the word that I think is relevant because that got scary there at the end.
Yeah, MuteAce maybe just a little bit less damage on the Peach when that final stock started and probably would have been able to capitalize. And I'm wondering, too, if that first combo that Mute managed to connect with, he ended up not getting the kill specifically because he had so much damage on him. I'm wondering if Rage interfered with that at all because it certainly could have. But now MuteAce swapping out the Bayonetta and bringing in the Corrin. Does everybody from Texas have a Corrin?
All of the top three at the very least, right? Like Lima, Mute, and I mean, Lima's not from Texas anymore. He's in South Carolina now.
He's still from Texas.
He's still from Texas, yeah. But the top three, Shattuck, Mute, and Lima, like they just share each other's characters, right? Because
I haven't seen Shattuck's Bayo yet, actually.
I've seen it a couple times. There's a reason he wasn't Squad Strike. But he has played around with the character a little bit. But yeah, everybody here pretty much does have a Corrin. I mean, kind of at the start of Ultimate, everybody in DFW had a nest because of Austin. We were just like, we see a nest that works, so let's all just do this a little bit.
I miss Austin.
I miss him too. He's doing well though, which is good.
I hesitate to call them the old timey Nesses, but like Austin and Foe from Vegas.
Oh, I mean, Austin is an old timey Ness. I mean, he's been around forever.
True.
He's been playing since like 2007. He's been around longer than some people in chat have been alive.
True. Maybe. Actually, that might be against Twitch TOS. I don't know when the cutoff thing is.
I mean, that would make you 2007. You'd be 16 this year.
I can't do math.
I know. That's why I did it for you.
Rule number 1 of commentary, Kimona. Never do math on the air.
Oh, but I can do it.
It's just different,
5 times 20, 100.
12.
Easy. That's close. So, also, Chase is, I mean, obviously we talked about Mute switching it up to the Corrin, but Chase is leading off with the Aegis in this game, and I think that really does play testament. I mean, another thing to notice, he's got the Cloud in there as well this time.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that.
But I think that does play testament to just how effective that Aegis was in that last game, and particularly how long it stayed alive, because that Pyra, I mean, I think I saw Pyra for 4 minutes in that game, and Mythra for 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a weird dichotomy with people who don't really play Aegis, where like Pyra is not necessarily easier, but she is easier to get stuff done with because you can just kind of flail around and people will die.
Yeah, I mean, Mythra is definitely the one that can control a game, right? But with Pyra, things get a lot more simpler, too. It's not a bunch of very difficult execution and anything. Now you're playing that sort of game where I want you to be afraid of me.
Yeah, and I mean, she's still like a fantastic character. All of her aerials have ridiculous hurtbox shifting on them, so she's difficult to punish in a lot of situations. And she kills you at 0 if she feels like it sometimes.
I think that's actually part of why I'm thinking about it, why some of like the more anime-styled characters... Footstool dare, down tilt, up air, forget what I was saying. That was nasty.
Anime.
That was anime as hell. That was a nasty KO. Holy moly. And people say this character has no sauce. That was sick.
Just absolutely insane stock from Chase, and now he gets to play Cloud against MuteAce's Peach. This is like actually the ideal situation for him. One of Peach's hardest matchups to deal with in this entire game, and he gets to pull it out here. Now, MuteAce specifically, historically has done very well in this matchup, but that doesn't mean it's easy.
I mean, Cloud, any big sword against Peach is going to give her problems, and particularly when you can do what Cloud does, right? With that auto-cancel bear, it's not even like she gets a brief window of opportunity to make up that space. If she does get in and she does get you off stage, it can be very hard for Cloud to deal with the fact that he is quite the edge-guardable character. And one of the reasons why you usually see a lot of Cloud players hold on to that limit, especially if there is an inkling that they might go off stage pretty soon. But that is not the issue for Mute right now. You got to take out that Cloud immediately before Chase tries to take that out. Oh my goodness, it's sloppy.
Spaghetti all over the floor, but eventually Mute's the one who grabs a bowl, finds that stock, brings Chase down onto the final one, and with a little bit more healthy final stock than he had during the last game.
And we saw him, I mean, once again, he's fishing for these combo starters where he knows the exact input sequence to just delete a stock immediately, because that, with enough practice, you can do that as Peach. And for some reason, Mute is one of the only people in the world that can. But look at that damage. Mute was at 99% when this stock started. Now he's got the lead.
Has yet to be hit and might close out the game before it happens. Chase has a turnip in hand.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. I actually think he might have forgotten he had a turnip in hand because I think he was trying to do Rising Fair off the ledge.
Might have been, yeah. My goodness. I mean, Mute, you see him smiling. I mean, that's just...
When you
that's
hit something like
the
that,
heat.
yeah, like that's Mute finishes a game and he's just like, shh.
Yeah, just, dude, him at Genesis was just.
I had to bring Mute at Genesis. I brought him a cup full of ice for him to stick his hands in. He was like, hey, this is weird. Can you go find a cup of ice? And I was like, okay, I can do my best.
I think he needs a cup of WD-40.
Actual Terminator MuteAce.
I mean, sometimes he is. Did you see the way that game ended?
Yeah, true.
Dude, I was gonna bring this up earlier when I was thinking about like Mute and last hit situations. That Genesis set against Light always sticks in my head because there was about like a 15-second sequence where neither of them hit each other, but they were still approaching each other. And the crowd sounded like they were watching Spider-Man like stop nukes from hitting the ground inside the stadium.
I remember, I forgot who I was sitting with, but the person that I was sitting with for that part of the bracket, it might have been Dark Wizzy. Wizzy was literally like screaming every single time one of them whiffed, just like at the top of his lungs. And if it wasn't Wizzy, I'm sorry, Wizzy.
Dude, I was too. I'm shocked I did not get a noise complaint from my neighbors when I was watching that, because I was definitely screaming. It was a crazy
It's
set.
one of my favorite moments of Smash Brothers, just in general. It's just like two players at the absolute peak of their game, unable to kill the other one.
It is my personal pick for my favorite set of Smash Ultimate history. But we can get on to some of that a little bit later. We do have a match. I'm going to back to the match just right now because this is Game 3. This is a pivotal moment in a set where both of these players do pretty badly want to go deeper into this bracket. And particularly Chase, you see the way that he's playing. He has absolutely been turning it up.
Chase just dashing straight through MuteAce's spot dodge. I think was trying to catch him dropping shield some other way. Up you go. And
indeed.
You don't ever want to be above Pyra in that situation without a double jump.
She has so many tools to hit you there. Because normally you think, oh yeah, that up air lasts forever. Also, that nair is a kill move. And also, back air is an up air.
Real quick, I did see somebody in chat. What set are we talking about? We're talking about MuteAce versus Light at Genesis 9.
Go watch that at some
later.
point when you get the chance. Like, if we go on break, I mean...
You'll have time. It's a fast set, too.
You'll have some time.
It was like 15 minutes max, right, for the whole best of the
time? It was like 25.
Time just flies when you're having that good of a time.
Absolutely. Great adaptation right there by Mute to just notice that Chase was kind of going to go for the same combo on the side platform because, I mean, it was so emphatic last time. He was like, okay, I'm going to be looking out for this delayed down air. Got the parry. Still living even after that prominence for Volt. But, dude, I think I was actually talking about this Aegis when Chase was playing in the main stage Arcadian because he qualified for the National Arcadian at the time. I think he played Aegis in that tournament, which he won. And I think I remember him playing that character and being really impressed by it and saying, like, this might low-key be better than his Palutena.
I would hesitate at the moment to say that it's better than his Palutena, but it is certainly, like, Chase is a very fundamentally strong player, and Aegis is a character that, like, if you learn one or two things with, you can make some stuff happen, but Chase is going to have to make some stuff happen with the Palu, not the Cloud, because the Cloud just got taken care of, and okay, he knows how to deal with teleports.
That's the Chase. That's the Chase right there. If there is anybody who hits that downer at ledge that consistently, it is him. He is him.
Especially when it comes to that down air, and now comboing MuteAce all the way off to the ledge. He gets the 2-frame with the down tilt and continues to push him out. He might be able to close it here. He's had such a hard time dealing with MuteAce's advantage state, but that simply will not be a problem if he never leaves advantage himself. But uh-oh, Kimona, as I speak it into existence,
oh my
God!
God! No way! Mute didn't want it to end that way, but it did anyways. You didn't expect the RNG to come through, but we are here at RNG, and Mute has it at his back.
I cannot believe that after all that work Chase did, he made one mistake, got off stage one time, and Mute pulled a goddamn bomb.
I'm kind of like peeking past the monitors to make sure security's not walking over here after you just went, that's a bomb!
I didn't even think of that.
It came so suddenly. Chase is going game and watch after the bomb incident. He's like, if that happens again, I want to bucket it.
Anybody who's ever spoken to Chase for a period longer than a single sentence can imagine exactly what he said to MuteAce after that happened. I will not be sharing it on broadcast for the rest of you.
This used to be a family show.
It's BTS Smash. We can say fuck here.
That's true. I'm just saying it used to be a family show. Oh, man. Game 4, MuteAce ending it so suddenly. And he has also put the Bayonetta back into the rotation. And I'm surprised that, like, the combos have been so clean that Chase hasn't even had a chance to break out with the Game & Watch.
Usually a pretty difficult matchup to deal with against the most experienced Game & Watches. Like, you usually don't see them struggle too badly with Bayonetta, and we won't see Chase struggling with Bayonetta any longer after that because the Game & Watch is gone and the Pyramithra has to load.
Ooh, great witch time right there, though, giving Mute an opportunity to get right back into this one. Didn't get a big combo off of it because, again, it's not quite what it used to be, but it's still very powerful, and look at this. I mean, Mute saying 67% like it's no big deal.
Mute knows the routes. He just kind of struggles to hit them sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, and I think the big thing is, again, like, he has the damage combos. We talked about this earlier.
He just doesn't have the kill combos.
Doesn't have a lot of the confirms. And it gets so deep. I was talking to Lima at DreamHack this year, and he was talking about how, so you know how Bayonetta has like 3 different angles that she can send you at with the ABK in the air? And I was like, I did not know that. And he was like, well, there's actually a 4th one that I was watching Bloom use, and you can actually confirm that into a back air if you land it on the platform. And I was like, that's how deep it goes to try and get a kill confirm with Bayonetta because it gets so precise.
Lima could do like a 5-hour podcast on how to kill off of the first ABK angle. And then he could do...
Insane. Yeah.
I've listened to him go on some insane rants about it. And it's very enlightening because Bayonetta, like, she truly does play a different game to most characters in Smash just because her kit is so unique in that way.
It is a completely different game, yeah.
But she's not playing this one anymore. She's gone.
She gone. Back to the MuteAce Palu, which, I mean, had a crazy fast stock against the Cloud. Knocked the Cloud out of the game entirely, you know, in favor of the Game & Watch for Chase because of just how thoroughly it got decimated. MuteAce right now going to try to put it to work again, but against the Aegis, which again has been so solid for Chase all day in Squad Strike. You can see it once again continuing to rack up a ton of damage.
And I think Chase needs to get a little bit of quality time against MuteAce's Peach with the Aegis if he wants a decent shot at bringing us to a game number 5, because otherwise, if Mute gets any extra credit on that Palu and then gets to play Peach again, even without the RNG stuff happening, I still think it's certainly going to end up going the way of Mute.
That kind of looked like the way that it was going in that last game anyways. That was so intelligent. Chase maybe doesn't think so, but it did work for MuteAce.
Now Palu versus Palu.
Mute wanted to do it back to him. Chase wanted to do it back
to him. He's reclaiming it.
Yeah.
No, but it is MuteAce's turn currently. He's going to get the double nair up air for that 32% for free. Chase sends him off stage and then tries to cover low. He was expecting a fast fall up B from down below instead of just a straight one from the side.
Yeah, no, I love the idea by Mute to go to the ledge instead of going high like most people would in that situation, because he realized if I get my timing right, if Chase goes there first, I can get a ledge trump bear before he's expecting it, or even a ledge trump dare if his DI off of the ledge is bad. But explosive flame from Chase comes out. But like you said, this is the MuteAce Peach in the back, and with even just a little bit of extra credit on this Palu, things can flip turnways.
Looking for that drag down up air off rip immediately, but not able to get it as Chase is a little bit too wise for that, is able to punish it out of shield with just a quick short hop nair. Chase has gotten very, very good at recognizing the timing on when Mute is vulnerable, and that is something that's very difficult to do. Mute's kind of like a late game Dark Souls boss, where his iframes are like really weird and his vulnerability state is like kind of like designed to trick you. Like it looks like you might be able to get a hit and then they just smack you.
And what's crazy is that Mute has the concentration to do that continually over the course of a set, but this set will go on yet a little bit longer. Chase taking this to a game number 5. MuteAce just said something scandalous.
I need to know what Chase just heard. I need to know. Chase was like, oh Lord. Think of the children.
That's something we can't let get out.
If this gets out, I'm ruined.
By the way,
my empire.
This squad strike is continuing, and we do want to see how these the whole bracket finishes up, and it will be on stream. I do want to let you all know that on the Collision Twitch channel, you can go check that out. They've got singles pools running over there if you do want to see maybe some of the upsets, some of your homies rolling in. That's going to be over there as well. Have both streams up all weekend, and of course, don't forget about what's going on, for Melee and for Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, all of that happening here at Rise and Grind this weekend.
Yeah, I believe, just to give everybody a quick rundown, Ultimate Mainstream right here on BTS Smash. Ultimate Side Stream is going to be on Collision Series TV. Melee Mainstream is on BTS 2. I am actually not sure off the top of my head where Melee Side Stream is taking place. I think it might be on Galint Gaming.
I believe so,
yes. Okay, it is Galint Gaming. And then the FGC stream where Guilty Gear Strive and Street Fighter 6 are taking place will be on Juicy Game Night.
Yes. Big shout-outs to Juicy, by the way.
Yeah, Duelist is here. He's been helping with all the setup stuff for the FGC side of things here at Rise and Grind. It's been looking good. I was watching some Strive yesterday. I got a couple games in. I didn't bring my controller, though, so I had to borrow somebody else's pad. Yeah. And I'm not a pad player, so I got rocked. But it was still fun regardless.
No Johns, but as it goes. We will get into Game 5, and Chase has said, all right, the Cloud's not working, the Game & Watch is not working. We're going back to the Sonic to see what kind of work it can put in, see if it can let him move on a little bit deeper in the bracket. Like you noted, MuteAce, I believe, was the 1 seed for this Squad Strike bracket. Chase really making him sweat, mostly off of the back of just the Aegis and the Palu. The other characters have had varying amounts of success. Sonic's been pretty good, and he's going for that early stock right there. Can't quite get the sweet spot of that dare, though, so Mute lives to fight another day.
I mean, come on. That Game & Watch hit at least 2 nairs.
It did do that, and I could hit 2 nairs with Game & Watch if I played him. That move is good.
The move is very good. MuteAce, though, getting some hits of his own in. Quick couple ABKs into a nair. 48%, not all that bad against Sonic, but I don't think any of his characters in this roster do that well against this one.
Yeah, the Bayo has just kind of been solid overall for Mute. I mean, he hasn't had the crazy confirms or anything, but again, a character that can do a lot of damage very reliably in Squad Strike, that can have a niche on your team, even if it's not going to necessarily be reliable when it comes to taking stocks.
It is a, like I said, it's done its job. It's not done anything fantastic, but it also hasn't, been the weak link. It's just, it takes a stock or it does a lot of damage and then it moves on. And that's not a bad character to have in Squad Strike, especially when your other two are as strong as MuteAce's Palu or especially as strong as MuteAce's Peach. Oh, nice. Tries to punish that out, but just completely missing out. But he's managed to bring this back. It was an 100% lead for Chase for a moment there and has just slowly chipped away at it. And the up tilt bear will take the stock. All right. Once again, in this Game 5, Chase gets first blood drawn against him.
We will see if he is going to, again, be able to fight back, though, with the heavy hitters. The Aegis and the Palu are the two in the back. And, all you got to do right now is take out this Bayo stock, and then you get to go 1-to-1 up against that Palu. But sticking to the mid throw right now, not trying to just go for Pyra for the raw kill power. Now finally does make that switch, but I mean, after taking some 46% and not really able to just threaten MuteAce's spaces easily with the big, heavy hitboxes.
Gonna be coming back down from off stage and just, okay, swings. That back air, like the way that, I've talked about it a couple times this block already, but the way that Pyra just like shifts her body sideways makes it so difficult for some characters to hit. And it's a pretty strong move, too, if you ask me.
I really like what Chase did right there, not to discount what you're saying about the back air, of course, but what he did right there, throwing that side B on stage, seeing Mute roll back, looking for that back throw. I love that little bunny hop that he did just to try to be grab invulnerable as quickly as possible.
Oh, MuteAce gets a quick little rapid jab on that right side platform. Trying to take the stock pretty soon in an up throw to try and mix Chase's DI. He burns the double jump, but Mythra a little bit too slippery with that air mobility to pin down and be able to get back down to the stage. Onto the ledge, though. This is where MuteAce could certainly take the stock, and he's just waiting, and he looks for the dragon. Oh, I was expecting an up tilt.
After that delay, most people expect something very powerful and single hit like the down air, but Mute did that neutral air, saying, first of all, maybe this can shield poke, but second of all, most people will drop their shield after that first hit from a delay, which is just like one of those minor little nuances, but that's one of those things that Mute is always thinking about. Now just needs one more stock, has to take down the main of Chase and that Palu to move on to losers finals.
Very, very scary spot for MuteAce to be in right there. Actually, I think that was Chase that was at that spot. There's two Palus. My train of thought is gone.
Well, what we have right now is a ditto.
A mirror match, if you will.
A mirror match if you're from...
And neither of them are hitting each other at all.
If you're from down under.
Down under.
Down under, mate. But right now, Mute putting on some damage, and all he needs, again, we talked about this the last time that this exact situation came up, all he needs is a little bit of chip on this Palu, and then when that Peach comes in, it should just be the one that cleans up shop. But again, that's no guarantee because Chase is very, very good, and that's not exactly a terrible matchup for Palu either. But again, the more that these numbers climb up, the more and more likely it is that Mute's just going to be able to find a quick confirm and send Chase home.
Yeah, I mean, we watched two Palutenas nair back and forth without either one of them hitting, and my brain kind of fried, but Chase is still on point as ever, and he's going to be able to connect with the dare up air. Brings MuteAce to the Peach.
How privileged are we that we have seen so many times two incredibly talented players get to go last stock Game 5 against each other in the Squad Strike bracket with their mains, and we get to see them leave it all on the line. I am absolutely so excited to see how this one finishes.
Well, while I'm sure that Cyrus is none too happy that Squad Strike has gone over schedule, I think the rest of us can be in good spirits because we are getting to see this Game 5 situation. MuteAce, 41%, trying to find that drag down up air again on Chase, but he is yet to be successful, and Chase has gotten so much out of these ledge reversal situations. Uh-oh.
Ooh, there it is! That drag down up air into the grab, so tight, so technical. Mute able to find it nonetheless. Perfectly timed jump from the ledge with that nair, but it's the up air from Peach, not Palutena, that's going to end the game right there. Mute spacing it perfectly and is able to seal out the 3-2 win in a very back and forth set between these two.
And I think